What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Strike Dragon. Today we're going to be diving into the 5th installment of my Welcome to Warframe series, and today we're going to be discussing farming. So materials mainly, or resources. So let's say you wanted to get neurodes. I mean, it's your first planet. The easiest way to tell what's on a planet is just to come down and hover over the circle here for your extractors. We have Furite, Rubido, Neurodes, and Detonite Ampules. Okay, so you may not know this in the beginning, but you'll begin to realize like what's rare. So here, Neurodes are going to be rare, or green line drops, and I'll explain that in a minute. Here, circuits are going to be green line drops, I believe. Let's go over to Mercury. Morphics are going to be your green line drops. So let's jump into a solo. So there, in my opinion, your best bet for materials is probably going to be a dark sector because of the bonus resource drop rate, and then you get a little bit of XP also, a little bit more XP. So for Earth, you have an excavation, and then you also have a defense mission. Both of them have a 15% resource drop rate increase. So if you wanted to go based on trying to kill enemies and getting your items that you're looking for to drop, your resources, I would recommend doing the excavation. The defense isn't a bad roll either. It's just, there's only a certain amount of enemies per wave. So, at least with an excavation, you're killing things constantly. So we're going to go try to find some of the actual nodes on the ground. We'll discuss that. So we're going to jump into we'll run this exterminate right here. All right, so now that we've landed, we're going to go ahead and look around. So here we go. We have Rubido. This is what that's going to look like. You're going to get enough of this by killing enemies and opening Grineer containers and corpus containers that it's not going to be super pressing to get this stuff. All you got to do is shoot it. And, there down in the bottom, we got 38 Rubido out of that. So, enemies also have a chance at dropping things. So, let's see if we can get one of these guys. He just dropped credits. Sometimes they'll be tucked away in there if you're really looking for something specific. You can look around. On this map, they're tucked away in corners like this. So, all of this stuff right here has a chance at dropping some decent stuff. Those had nothing in it, which is odd. So some more Rubido that had credits in it. That had credits. If you look in the bottom middle of my screen, you'll be able to see what came out of it. So that one had 2 Detonite Ampules. Okay. So this is what Furite's going to look like. So along with breakable containers that you'll find and nodes on the ground, you'll also have these locker containers. Let's see if we can find a locked one. So I don't see any locked one right away, but this one, when it's green like this, you can open up the storage lockers, and they can have they can have energy, health, affinity, all kinds of stuff inside, materials or resources. So this is what I was talking about when I said there are some locker containers that you can't open. So this one right here, we can't open it because it's red. We can open the green one, however. There are some Kubro, I don't know if they're instincts or mods or what. Certain Kubros that you can breed can actually claw at locked lockers, and sometimes they'll actually unlock it and it'll turn green and you can open it. Okay, so that was pretty that was pretty terrible for materials. If you look over here on the left, we got 200 Rubido, 4 Detonite Ampules, and a little over 1,000 Furite. So the 1,000 Furite looks like a lot of that particular material, but when you go to build things, and we'll look at it when we get to the ship, or we get to the orbiter, it usually requires quite a bit of certain materials to build things. So like, let's see, what's my next melee weapon that I need to build? So for example, I mean, we didn't get any alloy plate there, but it takes 10,000 alloy plate. This is one, and I have 500,000. This is one of the more common materials. So even though we didn't get any neurodes, because that wasn't, honestly, that's not the best one to go for Neurodes. So if you really want Neurodes, what I would suggest is either doing the Excavation Dark Sector, or if you don't have any luck with the Dark Sector one, I've also had pretty good luck with with Everest. And that's only my opinion. Some people may disagree with that. For Venus, your rare material is going to be your circuits. Really, it just, you know, it's a whatever. Survivals, excavations, anything you can do continuously and kill loads of enemies are usually better in my experience. Now, I like to run Ishtar's Sabotage on Venus to try to get the 3 caches, because that's also how you farm up different orbiters, I believe. So you can get a certain one from that anyway. So Mercury's going to have Morphix. But honestly, what I would say, if you need Morphix for something other than running the defense, what I would do is wait until you get to Mars, and then run either the Dark Sector Defense or the Dark Sector Survival. I would recommend the Survival because, like I said before, anything where you can just keep killing enemies is going to be better and give you a higher chance of actually getting those things. And then if you need neural sensors, a good place in that I go for neural sensors is I run a lot of IO to farm meso relics. So you just do the first 10 waves and then you leave and then you come back, and I've gotten pretty much all of my neural sensors by running IO. There is a Dark Sector Defense, which gives you a 20% resource drop rate increase, and there's also Survival to give you the same thing. So if you're not having any luck with IO, you can always try the Survival. That's what I would recommend. And then if you need plastids and or nanospores, this is going to be your first stop. Saturn's going to be the first place where you can get those. So again, Dark Sector Survival. That's going to be, for me, that seems to be the bread and butter. You're going to run for 10 to maybe 15 minutes, and you should have a decent amount of whatever you need. And then once you get to the point to where you're really farming for nanospores, Eris is going to be your best friend for your neurodes, plastids, and nanospores. And then mutagen samples too, but those are a little more specific. Okay, so let's talk about farming something else. So what about void traces? So we briefly touched on void traces, right? So the best way to farm void traces is to solo run with no relic, an easy, I would do a lith because they have the lower levels. Rescue has the lowest levels, but I prefer capture. I find them to be a lot easier. We also currently have on a resource drop booster, so I'm going to get a little bit more void traces than you will without the booster. So you want to do play without relic, because as I've stated in previous videos, whenever you run relics, you want to run with people, because that gives you more chance, like a higher chance to get a decent reward. So if you run alone, you only have that chance of getting whatever your relic is. So if you're running intact relics, you know, there's your chance for a gold reward right there. But if you're running with 3 other people, you can times that by 3, basically. So we're going to do play without relic. And even though we're not going to get a prime part from this, we are going to get void traces. So if you have relics that have been vaulted or that are going to be vaulted and you want to radiant them before opening them, you can always do this to farm for void traces before opening them. Or if you want to, you want to open up things for borrow, or you just want prime pieces, you can always do that. And then along the way, you'll also be getting void traces, obviously. You do need to get 10 of the reactant, as far as I know, in order to get the void traces at the end of the mission. So you can't just, come in, capture the target, and then leave without getting any reactant and still get void traces at the end. And that's as far as I know. Personally, I've never tried coming in here and not getting 10 reactant and trying to get the void traces at the end. So for whatever reason, as soon as you capture the capture target, there seems to be a lot of these fissures that'll open up right near you to try to give you that reactant, basically. So there we go. Now that we have the 10 reactant, we can just head to the extraction. And boom. So let's take a look. So we got 30 void traces. So without the booster that I have on, because that's what I got for logging in, I got a 3-hour booster. So we got 30 void traces this run. We also got 600 salvage, which is cool. And that only took us 2 minutes and 16 seconds to complete that run. That was it. 2 minutes, 16 seconds, and you got 30 void traces. And that's enough to upgrade something to exceptional, you know? If you didn't want to upgrade all the way to rating, if you just wanted to run 15 or whatever, you know, if I just want to make all of these exceptional. So we've covered farming for resources on planets, and we just covered farming void traces for your relics. So the last thing we're going to go over really quickly is farming for credits, the money, right? So the most effective way, as far as I know, is going to be running the index. So what you're going to do, and this is, if you haven't gotten to this point, small spoiler, not really. What you're going to do is you're going to invest 30K of your credits. Your potential profit if you win is going to be 75K. And all you have to do is get 50 index points. Now this one's very safe. That's why it's considered low risk investment. They're not as difficult. You don't have to get as many points. If you run with a Rhino with an iron skin build, you're pretty much gold. But so we're not going to display. So if you're not at this point yet, if you don't have the index and you still need credits, right? What you can do, my favorite thing to do, is to go to either this or Gabby. I usually run Gabby if I'm going to watch a TV show at the same time. I'll just do 5 minutes and then extract. But we're going to show you something really quickly with this. So, all right, guys. So now that we've completed 10 waves, because I accidentally hit fight, you can see that we got 24K credits. We got a bunch of other stuff too, but the point was for credits, right? So we got a quarter of 100K. And you can do that in 5 waves. It usually gives you, you're guaranteed 20K credits for completing a dark sector. My favorite is that defense one, because I just know the map. I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce that. Siemeni, I guess. Siemeni. So that's going to be my recommendation. If you can't do the index right away, that's going to be what I would suggest for running credits. The excavations are going to be a lot faster technically because you only have to run 1 excavator. So the dark sector excavation on Earth might be faster, but I haven't tried it. So the only one I know for sure is the defense on Ceres. But I think that's going to about wrap it up, guys. So that's farming for your void traces, your resources, and your credits. If I missed something or if you're looking for something specific, let me know down in the comment sections and I will do my best to get back to you guys. If you want to interact with me a little bit more directly, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. You can head over to my Twitch. And on my Twitch, you can actually find the link to my Discord channel if you want to be a part of that community as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed it. But as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.